For those of you who are new here, I'm trying to hike across New Zealand, the Te Araroa Trail, and this is part of my training. That's why I'm going out into these strange areas and hiking alone for multiple kilometers with 15 kg on my back. That's all I have left for 7.5 kilometers. My heart is pounding. They're definitely around me. I heard one snort at me. I just saw a couple. Damn it. I just fell. And it landed hard on my head. Today I'm going on my second ever solo overnight trip, except this time I am backpacking. I'm not staying in a hut. Got 12 kilometers in one direction to the top of a peak. I'm gonna stay up there and then hike back tomorrow. Whew, let's get going, guys.
When I was trying to choose a trail to walk this weekend, I went onto the Te Araroa app, which is the app you use when you're going to walk across New Zealand. I scanned through all the notes for all the trail parts north of Auckland, and basically tried to find the hardest part of the trail. When I chose this part, the Raetea Forest, people described it as absolute hell, which I decided would be the perfect challenge for this weekend. And that challenge started before I even left the car.
I had to find a place to park my car, and clearly this is not a well-used track because there was nobody else around, except for this house that was kind of there's a lot of, cars outside and burnt vehicles and stuff like that. It just didn't feel safe to me. And there were a bunch of dogs running around barking at me. But apparently the lady's super, super, super nice. I wish I'd said hi to her, but I was a little scared of her dogs. I'll have to maybe say hi on my way back. But I almost didn't go. I turned around and some lady went down the road. She was like, no, you can park there. It's safe. Don't worry. So here I am because of that. Thank you.
So the plan. I was going to hike up to a radio tower, which is about 12 kilometers away, stay the night, and come back. Except at the top, I knew there would not be a water source, so I needed to carry everything with me. My first challenge was to find where the trail entered the forest.
There's an up and there's a down. I think those are orange arrows over there. Yes, sirree. So far, this has got to be one of the least marked trails I've ever been on. This is chaos. Well, that's really confusing because obviously there's a path right there, but then over here, there's another path. So it looks like there is a switchback right here. Looks like I'll finally be leaving the exposed area and going into the forest. For those of you who are new here, I'm trying to hike across New Zealand, the Te Araroa Trail. This trail in particular is one of the hardest parts of the TA. It's actually on the TA trail because it's supposed to be one of the muddiest bits. So it's a thick forest with a lot of native bush that holds the moisture in, and it makes it like a super moist area. Does anyone else think the word moist is weird? Anyways, I didn't bring boots today because it's been dry for a while and it's also summer, so I'm hoping it'll be fine, but we'll see if we see some mud. This hike is a lot more chaotic than the Cape Brett hike. There's not a clear path sometimes. I'm having to actively keep an eye out for the orange markers and climb over things and through things, so it's a real adventure, guys. All right, I've got a genuine question for you. What are these things on the ground that I'm about to show you? These look like hoof marks. There are very few things in New Zealand that can kill you, but apparently being attacked by a boar is one of them. However, I don't think it's super common for that to happen, so I'm not going to be scared.
It's certainly thrilling being a solo female traveler in the forest, as long as you believe you're alone. But once that belief is disrupted...
Hello?
Well, it takes on a whole new spin.
Hello? I hear something big in the woods. Ugh. The trail goes in the direction of wherever that sound was. Whatever it is didn't respond. Do you guys hear that? There are definitely things walking around me right now. Oh my god. Oh shit. My heart is pounding. They're definitely around me. I heard one snort at me. I just saw a couple. Oh god. They can be really dangerous apparently. These ones are small though. here? Oh, I'm just trying to like talk and like be loud so they can hear me so they know I'm coming. So I like, don't want to scare them because actually they're scaring me.
Growing up with a grandfather who hog hunted my entire childhood, I knew there were two ways that hogs attack. One, if you get in between a mother and her babies, or two, if you put them in a corner. They feel like they can't get away, so they attack you. What I didn't know at the time, though, is that in New Zealand, hogs rarely attack. They're supposed to be some of the most docile in the entire world. Not knowing this, I spent the entire trip all the way up to my campsite and back worrying that I was going to run into the hogs again.
The trail has pretty much disappeared. I've gotten out of the forest a little bit. I think I might be going back in. I don't know if you guys can see that little bird. You see him? He has been following me for the last 10 minutes. Apparently he's a bit camera shy. I see you there following me. Like my stalker. You're kind of a cute stalker. THS, I am so grateful for all the markers. Thank you so much. This has been like kind of a chaotic trail, but to have the markers is so reassuring. So thank you. Okay, we're gonna take a brief food stop here before climbing over that thing behind me, which I guess is crossing some farmland. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad the hogs were not a big deal. That could have been scary. I have to be honest that ever since the hogs, I find myself like acutely listening for the sounds of like scratching or eating or digging or whatever it is, and my eyes are like peeled. It'll take a little bit for me to relax if I'm honest. I am leaving no trace, which means there's a lot of garbage in my bag. I have to admit that it's a little unnerving being out here all alone, and this is probably the closest to actually walking the TA trail that I've ever gotten, because like I am so alone. Like there is nobody here. I keep listening for sounds and like I'm probably a bit more jumpy than I normally am. Kit Brett was constantly being passed. The trail was like really like established. This is nothing like that at all. Good practice though. Very good practice. I assume this is where the trail goes. All right, let's see. It kind of looks like a trail. Yeah. Wow. Look at that. Set amongst the forest is mile marker 13. It just sits there, waiting for attention and love from hikers who have just completed another kilometer. I don't know what this grass is behind me, but in some places it's taller than me. I'm just like, watch. I just have to go through it. It's a little bit sharp. Oh God. Oh. It's always nice when you catch a real legitimate trip on camera, you know? Something for giggles of you guys. You're welcome. At my expense. I think this is the first time I've ever seen any wild berries in New Zealand. Obviously, I'm not going to eat them because I don't recognize them, but it's kind of cool to see. And they're super like vibrant in their colors. It's kind of cool. So I just checked that I've done about 7 kilometers and my feet are just starting to hurt right now. Only a little bit. And I'm pretty sure that little birdie is still following me. He just went behind that bush. But he's been following me, I'm sure. There they are again. Hoof marks. Definitely feels like the boar is going in the same direction as me. There's another one over there. Ooh. Ooh, it's so muddy.
I started to reach a point where I was mentally done. It was getting muddier, I was worried about the boar, and suddenly it decided it was going to rain on me. I just wanted to get to the top and crawl inside my tent.
170 meters to go. Oh, I'm gonna be ready to lay down and sleep. Ew. Ew. Look how muddy they are. Woohoo! Made it! Look at that view. Holy moly. Well, we arrived and there's another rainstorm on the way, so I'm just gonna quickly put up the tent and then get some food because I'm hungry. Look at that. One of my clients at work made me this spoon, hand carved from one of the local trees in my new town and treated with beeswax. Isn't that gorgeous? I don't know if you guys can really see it, but it was such a lovely gift. And that's my new hiking spoon. I'm telling you guys, food tastes better after you've hiked a while. I think I'm gonna rest for a couple of minutes before the sun goes down. One really good thing about today is that I feel like I got my first real taste of what the Te Araroa Trail is actually gonna look and feel like. Feel is probably the big one. It was so muddy and there were boar tracks everywhere and I was alone as a female and I didn't really have like that much water. I had to be quite careful because I didn't know if there's any water source and there is none, so I'm glad I was careful. And that feels like it's gonna be like on the trail, you know? Like hyper aware of my surroundings, careful with my water, and getting really dirty. It's funny because when I was on the trail, I was thinking to myself like, holy crap, like I'm really just gonna like struggle through hiking these like, what, thousands of kilometers, 3,000 kilometers all on my own. And like, why am I doing this? Is it gonna be worth it? Like, I'm not gonna get cuddles tonight and like, I'm gonna be up here alone. Like, what's the point? And then I'm sitting here at this top of this mountain and there's this beautiful view around me and I'm gonna wake up to the most beautiful sunrise. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's why I'm doing this. To be outside more and experience this stuff. Like, it was a little scary, but that's why I'm practicing. So anyways, I am pooped. And it's pretty much dark. I know it seems light, but my camera's just that amazing. So we're gonna start wrapping up tonight. You guys have been great. Really good at watching, you know? Really proud of you. Good morning. Wow, it looks a lot brighter than it actually is on the camera. Waking up, obviously. Need to make myself some coffee. Last night was very uncomfortable. I don't know why it was more uncomfortable last night than it was the last time I slept in the tent. I think I might be a little bit of an angle and some rocks, but it was pretty uncomfortable. But the worst part is that the walls were quite loose last night. And so I need to figure out like why that happened, because it rained all night and then water got inside because the inner and outer, you can see they're touching and they shouldn't be touching. There should be like a slight gap. So that no water gets inside. So there's a little bit of water pooling in the edges, which really sucks. Oh, but anyways, breakfast time and pee time for me. So, guys, it is pretty miserable out here. Check this out. Just all around. Need to get out of these mountains. So I'm super duper thirsty.
but this is how much water I have to get back 12 kilometers. So I need to be careful. So I'm not gonna have coffee this morning either, just because I need to make sure I conserve. Are you a stuffer in the bag or a roller up nicely kind of person? Time to pack up, and the sun is coming out. Do you see it shining through? Hopefully it dries off my tent a little bit, because it's not great hiking with a wet tent, because that means you gotta go home and dry it, otherwise it's destroyed. I honestly find myself thinking, like, all of these backpackers who go into the towns, they must spend the entire time just like cleaning up, drying out all the gear, you know? Like, I've seen the light, guys. I know what it's like, and I feel for you, and what you went through, it's harder than anyone knows. Guys, we're gonna share TMI because that's what you're here for. I forgot toilet paper and a trowel to dig, and I need to do number 2, and that really sucks because I've still got 12 kilometers ahead of me, but I'm gonna have to wait because I have nothing to dispose of it with. So this will be an interesting. Oh God, it's like foggy. This has been so eye-opening in such a, like, the best way possible. This has certainly been an adventure. So back into the mud. Look at that, there's more hog tracks, and then lots more mud. Yay! Apparently there's this mountain range just north of Wellington. I think it's called the Taranui Range, and it's more muddy, and also it's like longer, so you just go and you go and go, but you're like in mud for days. Now I knew what those days would look and feel like. Did I really want to do this? Little did I know that the Boar and mud would soon be the least of my worries.
Damn it. I just fell. And it landed hard on my head. I don't want to tell my boyfriend because he's gonna really worry, but probably should have someone know. Fuck. That, sorry, language. Landed straight on my head. It's not that hard down there, but that hurt. Okay, let's see how I feel getting up. Oh, fuck. Got a nice gnarly black and blue mark there. I don't know if you can see it. Oh. Well, I ended up calling my boyfriend because it's still throbbing quite a bit. And head injuries are no joke. Somebody needs to know. So anyway, hopefully it's not still throbbing. I'm like, fuck, did I get a concussion? Sorry for my language, guys. That really shocked me. At least the arrows are still there, and it's cloudy, but it's not raining. I feel like this hike was like, hey Danielle, I know you want to walk the trail, but you don't really know what you're getting yourself into, so we're just gonna like let you know what it's actually gonna look like. Because we don't want you making a dumb decision. But guess what, brain? Still gonna do it. So I'm just hitting the 3.5K marker. So 3.5 to go. And the throbbing has gone down a lot. I feel clear-headed, no cross-eyedness, and no slurring of my words. Maybe take a second to like come up with my words more than normal. But I am coming to the area right where I saw those hogs, which has been so much fun. So I'm hoping I don't see them again, because I'd rather not have to deal with that right now. I'd rather get to my car and get home, actually. It sucks when you hit your head. Kind of makes you like realize how serious it can get out here, you know? All alone especially. But when I go for real, I'll have a PLB and or a Garmin InReach. So yeah, safety first, people. Safety first. All I can think about is the Boar right now. My ears are like super open for any sounds. Boars get bored and hogs hog. My dad jokes will never get old. For me. Maybe for you guys. Bye bye hog-filled forest. Hello open land. Never have I seen such a beautiful view. My last obstacle to face before I get to my car is there's actually a pack of dogs down near this farmhouse, and they bark really loudly and they sound really mean. Supposedly they're fine. I saw them on the way in and they avoided me, so hopefully they'll do the same on the way back, but they're a little bit scary. Hi! Never have I been so excited to see my car. Oh. Well guys, I made it to my car and my big full bottle of water.
You know what the craziest part of this hike was? I got rained on, I got in the middle of Boar, I fell flat on my face, my tent leaked, I ran out of water. And this hike convinced me more than any other hike that I could do this. I can walk across New Zealand. Now I just had a few more situations I need to test myself in, but it wouldn't be long until I'd begin.
Look at that. Oh, so good. Oh, so good.